You're not living in reality. Reality is living in you. You don't get what you want, you get what your identity allows. Most people focus on strategy, hustling, grinding, hard work, but the results stay the same. They change their actions, but they never change the systems that's running those actions. My name's Mark, aka Create Lifestyle, and I'm helping people, especially those over 50, break out of these outdated beliefs and create freedom, abundance, peace of mind, residual income, and leave a powerful legacy. I call it breaking out of the matrix, and today I'm going deep and I'm talking about your self-image. This is the internal program that's creating your entire life. So understand that you're not living in this reality that most people believe. Back in the 60s, there was a plastic surgeon by the name of Maxwell Maltz, and he discovered something fascinating. Someone would come into his office and they want to work on their nose or work on their face or make some major changes in their appearance. And he would do those things for them. And then he noticed that these people, their self-confidence just went through the roof, and they just went out in life and just started doing amazing and fantastic things and living better lives. So he had lots of patients, and he noticed this. So upon further study, and then he wrote this book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and where he outlines and explains all of this. But as I mentioned, he discovered that this changes a person's internal programming, and they go out and make major changes in their lives. So most people, as I mentioned, are not living in reality. They believe that they live in the world. So the idea is you experience your interpretation of this world. Your mind, it filters out things, it labels things, it assigns meanings, and then that becomes your reality. So when you start believing things at a core level, your reticular activation system goes into the effect. That's the thing in your brain that creates your reality and notices things that are around you and draws them all to you. Notice how if you've got a new car, or if there's a particular car that you're interested in that you absolutely like, and you draw your attention to that suddenly you start noticing that car everywhere. You notice the color, you notice the car, it's everywhere. And that's your reticular activation system at work. And that same system goes to work to bring your self-image into your reality. So your self-image is actually your blueprint. It's your identity, it's your internal architecture. And this is built from your beliefs, your emotions, and your expectations. This is the code that your life is running on. And I talk a lot about this matrix, and some scientists have confirmed that, and again, I'm getting a little deep here, they've confirmed that we're living in a computer kind of a program. I know it sounds strange, but our reality is something that is being created collectively by all the people that are on the planet. And this is the thing, and it works like a computer. And let's flip that around a little bit. The computer actually works like your mind works. Again, we're focusing on strategies, tactics, and hustling, but the results remain the same. And that's because the identity is the same, and you have the same outcomes. Your subconscious mind, it controls your behavior. If something feels unsafe or uncomfortable, you avoid it. Even if you want success, your system overrides it. So you don't get what you want, you get what kind of feels normal, like your income level, your opportunity, your relationships. It all matches your internal standards. So the real work is rebuilding the system. It's redefining the reality. And all this starts within. And it's not an easy thing to do because you have to reprogram yourself on a deep level. From the birth all the way up to age 7, you're in this, what they call theta state. And this is when your mind is real malleable and programmable. And your brain, it just absorbs everything. So your early upbringing has a whole lot to do with your success in your life. Now, if you didn't have that positive early upbringing, it shows up all throughout your life. Now, you can change this or begin to change this when you first fall asleep and when you first wake up. That's when you can reprogram your mind. But even to go on a deeper level, some people like to go into hypnosis. Now, full disclosure, I've never tried that, but that may be something you might want to do some investigating on. So understand that you have to install some new codes, some new beliefs, emotions, and expectations, and rewire what feels normal, and thereby just begin to break this matrix within. So understand that your unconscious programming is the thing that's you're living your life out with right now. And then you begin to create some freedom when you begin to become aware of this, begin to become conscious of this, and to begin to change this. You become the architect. So I told you I was going to get a little deep, but if I'm making sense, subscribe, share this. So understand that your life's not random. Your self-image is the system. That's what has to change, is your self-image. Of course, you have to do some tactics and do some things. One of my mentors says conscious thought times action equals the manifestation. You can't just wish it all up. You are going to have to take some actions. So if the system doesn't change, the results are not going to change. When you change your identity, you rewire your emotions, you install your new beliefs, and this is where your reality must follow. So like I always love to say, the only way out is in. Peace, one love, and control your destiny.